Yo, what's going on, everybody? Good evening, everybody. Wow, we have made it. we have made it by the seat of our pants. Welcome to this Life-Undeferred Masterclass that I am calling Becoming Unrecognizable in 2025. We are live on Instagram. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. We are live on LinkedIn. Let me check the LinkedIn stream. Yes, LinkedIn. We are live on all four channels right now. I will give everybody just maybe a few more moments here to log in, and then we are going to get started immediately. Okay. Hope you're having a great night here so far. Hope you are enjoying the wrap up of this holiday weekend. And it is December 1st. How about that? What a spectacular time to be doing this. What a spectacular day. Everything fits just exactly where it should be in this timing. Matt over at Pro Color Graphics says, heck yeah, absolutely, heck yeah. That's exactly what we should be talking about right now. Okay, let's get going. I want to get right to it. Unrecognizable. What does that mean? What does it mean for you to be unrecognizable 1 year from today? That means that you are a new being. It means that you're walking in something, a new reality, a reality that doesn't look, feel, smell, taste, nothing like what it is right now. It's something that may transform your body. You may be unrecognizable physically. I will tell you, when I was going through this process, the same one I'm going to show you and tell you about here in the next 45 minutes to an hour, I actually saw physical changes in my body. In some respects, I'm unrecognizable a year ago to where I today as to where I was a year ago, almost physically. And for some of you, that may be the direction you want to go or need to go. But this is what it's all about. You being unrecognizable in the next year means that you are more aligned than ever, that you are living in accordance to your soul. You are living in resonance with how God created you. You are literally living a supernatural life, one where you are connected to the divine. And I'll use words like God, divine. I will talk about spirituality. I do not push religion. I don't care where you land on the religion spectrum, where your beliefs are or lack thereof. Okay, I respect everybody's faith decisions, but I will talk about the divine, the spiritual presence in our life. So I may call it God, the universe. Don't get caught up in the logistics of what I'm saying, but there's a divine, there's something divine about this life. Okay, and when you start getting connected to that, the caps start coming off your life and you start becoming supernatural and unrecognizable. It is your destiny to grow, flourish, and evolve. It's part of your DNA. And I want to share this with you. You becoming unrecognizable isn't about becoming something that you're not supposed to be. It's actually you becoming more of who you were destined to be. Did you hear me? You becoming unrecognizable means you start getting so close or closer to whom God created you to be and weaved you together in your mother's womb. There's a part of my book where I talk about what is life undeferred. It is really a shedding of the things we have done to ourselves that we put onto ourselves, and you shed those away. And the truest form of who you are, your most authentic self, starts shining through. That's what it means to be unrecognizable. Over the next 365 days, you start walking into whom you were created to be from the very beginning. Your destiny, your most truest authentic self. So I hope that gives you a good little intro as to where my mind is, okay? What it is I'm trying to inspire you to be and become. That is the invitation here today. What is special about this masterclass? I'm not going to talk about little tactics, tips and tricks. That's not what we're going to talk about in the next 50 minutes. I will give you a bit of a process, but this is not also something about some kind of fluffy, airy idea. Okay. We're going to talk about spiritual concepts, but we're going to talk about how you can actually put your future on a course that will lead you into a completely new state of being. That's really what this is all about. All right. So who am I and why should you listen to me? Well, I am now an Amazon best-selling author. I authored the book Life-Undeferred, and this book just came out 2 weeks ago. I'm very, very proud of it. But this book really is a testimony of my own life, and it's my own playbook. Guys, for those of you who know me, for those of you that have been following me for a long time, you have seen a transformation in me, okay? I am unrecognizable from where I was a year ago. Okay. I am unrecognizable from where I was a year before that. You are seeing the transformation literally happening in real time. But for those of you who do not know me, I will tell you my life looks drastically different, drastically different than what it did a year ago. And everything that I have done, or the vision that I planted this time last year. That's why this time is so important, because right now is where it begins when you want to start crushing 2025. But I will tell you, and I'm not bragging about this, but everything that I created in my mind and started to adjust my being and making it in alignment to has come to fruition in real time. I'm living this out right now before you in real time. That's why I'm so excited about this. Okay. Where did it start? For me, it started with a decision. Okay, I talk about it in my book. And of course, I don't have one handy, but I have some over on the shelf. Hopefully, some of you have the book. By the way, you can get it right now on Amazon.com. But in the book, I talk about how you get a choice. And on January the 1st, 2022, I made a decision. I decided that I was going to stop playing defense in my life. Up to that point, for 43 years, I thought life happened to me, not for me. I thought I was just a byproduct of all the chaos in the world, and my life was just the table scraps of what was left. I didn't believe I had choice. I didn't believe I had autonomy. I didn't believe I had freedom. Again, I was a byproduct of all the chaos in the world, and I was tired of it. And that's coming out of the pandemic, which scared me to tears. And I was always waiting for the world to tell me it was okay to come out and play. And on January the 1st, 2022, on a little dirt road just south of here, I made a decision I wasn't going to do that anymore. I planted the flagpole. Something magically happens when you decide, you plant the flagpole, and you make a decision. Guys, I hope you make a decision tonight. I hope over the course of the next 45 minutes, you make a decision. Because something so powerful happens when you decide. By the way, the root word of decide is side, C-I-D-E. It means to kill, cut off, and sever. That's where we get our words like homicide, suicide, genocide, herbicide. When you decide, you make a decision and you cut off all other options. That is the very first place you start. That's a little nugget for you. Somebody on this call needs to hear that. You need to make a decision. You haven't made a decision. You've had a lot of like fairy tale ideas. I've been there, done that. That's how I live most of my life. But something magical happened. The transformation I've experienced in the last 3 years, you can rewind it back to January the 1st, 2022, when I made a decision and planted a flagpole. That's why I'm so passionate about this message. Okay? That's why I'm here preaching this to you. Okay? So what's the problem? What's the problem? How come my message stirs in the hearts of people? How come you people are following me? How come you people are spending your time here on a Sunday evening on December 1st, 2024, watching me talk about becoming unrecognizable? Because people get stuck, right? We get stuck. We don't get the results we want. Life happens to be just play, repeat over and over and over again, right? That's not your destiny. Your destiny is to grow, flourish, expand, right? That's why it feels off when we get stuck. When every year clicks off the clock and it's exactly the same. By the way, let me ask you a question. Are you the same person you were a year ago? Are you the same person you were 2 years ago? I don't think you're supposed to be that person. I think that evolution, growth, expansion is part of the human experience. It's in our destiny. It's built into our DNA. You're a divine being like me. And so when we're stuck, when we're flat, it feels off. Okay? So why do we How and why do we get to this point? Why do most people just hit play repeat every single year, year after year after year? Let me bust a little myth for you. Let me talk about goals for a second. New Year's resolutions coming up here in a month. Let me tell you something, they don't work. Goals don't work. Take that to the bank. There's entire books written about goals. And I'll tell you something, goals don't work. And I preach goals, so there's a little disclaimer with that. Okay? But you just making a goal, doing that alone doesn't do anything. Okay? It doesn't change the inner being, which we're going to talk about here coming up. There's lots of videos out there. I love seeing these videos. I mean, because of what I talk about, what I stand for, what I like, I follow certain stuff on Instagram and Facebook, and I get these reels. And a lot of these reels talk about manifesting, right? You can manifest anything. You could take a notebook down. I've seen this before. You take a notebook, right? And 9 times a day, you write whatever you want on that notebook, and you get up and you repeat it over and over again, over and over again. And before you go to sleep, you just vision, and it just shows up. And let me tell you something. I've done it. I've done all those things. I've done it when I was in fear and scarcity and lack and scared out of my mind several years ago. When I looked at the future and I saw nothing, I was writing down all these things, and that's all the further it went. It never produced any results. Okay. The way I used to do New Year's resolutions before, I'd write down these big goals, right? Because the same people on social media were like, you got to make big goals. Got to make big goals. And so in the past, I've made New Year's resolutions, and I'm like, you know what? This year I'm going to make $1 million. I'm going to make $1 million. Some guy on social media said I should set big goals, so I'm going to make $1 million. And then I would write it down. I would stick it in a drawer, never look at it ever again. And then the same people halfway through the year be like, hey, remember those goals you made at the beginning of the year? What have you done? Are you close? Are you halfway there? I haven't done anything. So I'd start to panic. I'd bust out that sheet of paper. And it's like, I said I was going to make $1 million this year. I haven't done anything different. The results of my life are exactly the same. So I would start like panic Googling, how do you make $1 million? Do I buy crypto? Like, do I play the lottery? What do I do? Inevitably, I'd get depressed, put it away. The rest of the year be exactly the same, play, repeat over and over and over again. This is why you don't wait till January the 1st. Don't wait for January the 1st to roll around to change your life. Do it now. Do it now, do it now, do it now. The rest of the world will do very little, if anything, next year. Some people will make New Year's resolutions, but you're different. You're different. You're going to start right now. What if you could begin to co-create the exact life that you want? I specifically use that word, co-create. You are in a co-creating relationship, partnership with the divine. What if you could start that process right now? What if you began to take on a whole new identity? Guys, if you're taking notes, I know some of you out there are. Are you taking notes? Write down identity and circle it. This will be crucial to your transformation. Everything changed when my identity started to change. Because as my identity changed, the self-perception, which I looked at my past, present, and future changed. It changed the way I look at myself. It changed the way I look at my relationship with the Lord. It changed the way I looked at my destiny and my vision as I looked into the future, which was black, bleak, and nothing. Okay, that's part of my testimony 3 years ago. When I thought about the future, it was black, it was bleak, it was nothing. Then all of a sudden, my vision started to change, and I saw the future as full HD living color filled with opportunities. What changed? Did the world change? It did not. What changed? There was something inside that's tied back to my identity that changed everything. I talk about this in my book. I bring up several people. One of the guys that I bring up in my book, his name is Kenny G. Okay, not Kenny G, the saxophone player. There's a guy by the name of Kenny G. He was in one of my programs. He started taking on a whole new identity. He was stuck in a rut. He was overweight, struggling, making connections with his family, struggling to hit financial goals at work. I helped him through. He made quarterly goals. He called me 1 week later into the new quarter after going through my program, says, I have a problem. I says, what's your problem? He goes, halfway. He goes, I'm already halfway to accomplishing the rest of the year's goals, and we're only 10 days into the new quarter. I said, what's the problem? He says, that's never happened before. I said, you know why? It's because you are coming into full alignment. You are becoming a new being, and you're getting aligned to your destiny. And now you're watching the supernatural take off. There's another guy I mentioned in the book. His name's Matthew. He was my workout partner and still is to some extent today, but a younger gentleman, never before lifted weights, took a chance, started lifting weights with me. And for 3 months, that kid never came to the gym unless I texted him, called him, made sure he was there. He didn't know what to do unless he was there following me. And then something clicked. Bam, he took on a whole new identity. I didn't really see him much anymore after that, which kind of bummed me out, but he was off on his own. I would drive past the gym on holidays, Sundays, nights, weekends, and I'd see his car there. Shortly after, he would not go without me by his side. Why? He took on a whole new identity. He's now 22 years old. The way that he thinks, the way that he acts, his self-perception, his identity is changing. He's a new creation. And now he's seeing things happen in his life he's never seen before. Why? Because his identity has changed. Guys, that's going to be a reoccurring theme here as we go through the rest of this masterclass. So let's get into it. Let's get into the crux, the heart. Again, if you're taking notes, get ready. We're going to start laying down some foundation as to how you make this happen. If you want to be recognizable, unrecognizable by this time next year, you need to change, and write this down, your state of being. You need to change your state of being. People, write down state of being and circle it. What makes up your state of being? 3 things, write these down, and we're going to go through each one individually. We're going to spend the next 20 minutes going through each one of these 3. Your state of being is made up of how you think, how you act, and how you feel. Your state of being is made up of how you think, how you act, and how you feel. Once your state of being changes, you are a new creation, new identity. You're connected to the divine, and the caps come off your life, and you become a supernatural being where you can explain what's happening. Don't believe me? Watch my journey. Watch my journey. This is happening in real time, day to day, today. Let's start with how we think. Okay. You have, on average, 70,000 thoughts per day. Psychology tells us over and over again, we are having, on average, 70,000 thoughts per day. Now, if you account for 8 hours of sleeping and 16 hours of awake time and do the math, that means that we are having, on average, a new thought every single second. Every person on this call right now is having a new thought every single second. New thought, new thought, new thought, new thought. And by the time that you are 35 years old, you have trained yourself in such a way that 90 to 95% of what you're doing is completely habitual. Okay? You are programmed. I don't want to offend you, but everybody watching this right now has programming, old programming that's holding you back running on the mainframe. Okay? Because of those 70,000 thoughts that you had or are having today, 90 to 95% of those are going to be exactly the same tomorrow. Okay. And then after that, you're going to have pretty much 90 to 95% of the same thoughts the next day and the next day and the next day and the next day. And again, write this down. Your thoughts dictate your results. They do. Your thoughts are directly connected to the results you're having in your life. The big epiphany I had once I started seeing this after I made the decision and I started really challenging my thoughts is that as my thoughts changed, I changed. As my thoughts changed, the things that showed up in my life changed. Everybody on this call, including me, are programmed. There are things that are holding me back, and they are tied directly to how I think. You want a new life? Change how you think. Let me ask you a question. This is one of the most important questions. I got a lot of these. One of the most important questions I can ask you on this call. And you can decipher for yourself. This is about you and your journey. But I want you to answer this question. Who do you want to become on December 31st, 2025? Who do you want to become on December 31st, 2025? Just over 365 days from right now. Who do you want to become? Listen to this. Who are you in your most optimal, most abundant self? Think about that. When you are operating in your most truest form, in your most abundant self, where you are clicking on all cylinders, what does that look like in the physical? What does that look like on a day-to-day basis? How is your superpower showing up in this world? Guys, whether you know it or not, whether you believe it or not, whether you think it or not, you have a superpower. There's something inside of you God has placed inside of you that you can do that nobody else on planet Earth can do. How is that superpower showing up right now? How do you want it to be showing up in this world by December 31st, 2025? What is your superpower? How can it be showing up in the world? Where is your genius? What would it look like to engineer your life around that superpower? Guys, these are questions I pondered over the last 2 years. I can't do much. I'm not being coy. The only thing I can do in my life is talk and motivate. It's the only thing I can do. TV was actually a pretty good fit for me. I got paid to talk. And a year and a half ago, I started understanding this genius more. I learned that I was out of alignment. I wanted to be in alignment. So I started engineering specifically a life, business, and day-to-day existence around that. Hallelujah. Voila. Here we are. And again, for those of you who've been following me for a couple of years, you have watched the outside transformation happen, and it all started with how I thought. Let's go back to this question. Who do you want to become? How do you want your days and weeks to look like? How do you want them to be structured? Again, if you could just, logistics aside, engineer the perfect day, weeks, and months, engineered around your genius, your superpower, your greatness, to where your bold, exciting self is coming through. It honors your true, authentic self and honors your creator. What would it look like? How much money do you want to be making? Now we're talking. Seriously. I mean, I know I'm from rural mid-America. We don't talk about those things. It's just, it's good enough. I don't need more than what I need. That's not practical. Guys, unapologetically. Some of you need to hear that. Write it down. Unapologetically, circle it, underline it. Unapologetically go after the big life that you want. You're doing no one any favors by playing small. You're not honoring your creator. Your creator has given you things for you to steward them well. How do you steward them well? Let them come out. Create a life where you are in full expression of how he created you to be. What do you want to be doing to make said money? What do you want your marriage to look like? What do you want your household to look like, to feel like? What do you want your body to look like? Answer those questions, guys. Whatever question resonates with you, answer those, ponder those. When I do coaching programs and mentorship programs, I spend a lot of time on this question. It's in my book, Life-Undeferred. And I always encourage people, and I'm going to encourage you on this call here tonight, get out of your logistical brain. You need to ditch your logistical brain. Your logistical brain will always keep you stuck in the past. Because logistically, you will base your future on your past. When I'm telling you, think big, go deep into your authentic self, your logistical brain will take the net average of the last 10 years and say, next year is going to look about like that. Growth over the last 10 years has been this, so 2025 looks like that. Put the logistical brain away. It has its time and its place in your life. It's to keep you safe and alive. Hallelujah, we have that. That's great. But it's terrible at planning, envisioning, and thinking outside of the 1% that most of us live in. Get outside the logistical brain. There's a book called Do the Work by James Pressfield. I talk about it all the time. It's mentioned in my book, Life-Undeferred. He has a concept in there called stay stupid. I'm always telling people, stay stupid. Somebody in the chats say, stay stupid. Bible would call that childlike faith. Stay really dumb. Now, again, if you see a grizzly bear outside, don't lay down and give it a pat on its head and try to, get a piggyback ride on it. That's dumb. We start talking about your future, your vision. Stay really stupid. Have childlike faith. Leverage Proverbs 16:9, which says, man casts the vision, God directs his steps. God's asking you to cast the vision for your life. But you're going to have to get out of your rational brain. Let me ask you a question. Do you ever think about your thoughts? Michelle says, stay stupid. Yep. Michelle, stay stupid, man. Write it down. Stay stupid. I love that quote. Do you ever think about your thoughts? Do you ever think about what you think about? Guys, you're not your thoughts. You're not your thoughts. You don't find identity and reality in your thoughts because, again, listen to me here. I said this in my book, and I'm going to say it again. Write this down. Thoughts are random. Thinking is not. Somebody give me a heck yeah. Thoughts are random. Thinking is not. Think about what you think about. Is your thinking drawing you closer to your 2025 desired self or farther away? Become aware of these things. The Bible says take every thought captive. It doesn't say control every thought. We can't because they're random, but thinking is not. Take every thought captive. Guys, this is why this is so important. Please listen to me. This is one of the most important things I'm going to tell you all night long. The Bible goes on to say that we are to be transformed by the renewing of our minds. Who wants transformation in 2025? Who wants transformation? Who wants a new life in 2025? My life is phenomenal. There's more. Guys, if you're having a 1 out of 10 life or a 10 out of 10 life, there's more. There's more. It's not because you're inadequate. It's because you're connected to a divine infinite source who will always have more for you. And the way that you get it is to be transformed. But how are we transformed? The Bible says we are transformed by the renewing of our minds. Guys, this is the ultimate cheat code. Everybody's looking for the cheat code. What's the hack? Right? See it on Instagram. Here's a 30-second hack to do this. Here's your hack to do that. Your hack to be unrecognizable in 2025 is to be transformed by how you think. Let's move on to feeling. Remember, to be transformed, I need to be a new state of being. It's how we think, how we feel, and how we act. Let's talk about how we feel. Guys, I want you to be emotionally connected to your 2025 self. Once you can write down on paper, grasp in your brain who you want that person to be, align your thoughts, ditch the ones, don't sit on the ones that bring you farther away from that person, nurture the ones that draw you closer to it. Now I want you to feel it. I want you to feel it. I want your emotions aligned to your 2025 self. Guys, the things that I'm experiencing right now by launching a book, I'm now fully self-employed. I'm doing groups like this. I'm doing coaching programs. I'm mentoring. I'm speaking. It's just the beginning. I wake up. I have emails waiting for me. My phone has not stopped dinging for weeks. Guys, you know what that feels like? It feels incredible. A year ago, guess what? I was tricking my emotions. I felt this a year ago. It had not come to fruition. It was a vision. I nurtured that vision. I nurtured those thoughts. But in my quiet time, as I was drifting off to sleep, as I was sitting in the chair, just relaxing, I allowed myself to feel it. Guys, this is not just positive mental attitude BS. This is you physically feeling what it feels like to be the person that you want to become. Some bad news. This is very difficult because your body is fighting your feelings. Let me rephrase that. Your body is keeping you stuck in the past because science continues to tell us now that our emotions are actually stored in our bodies. When something happens, when there is a trigger, there are chemicals and there are chemicals and hormones stored in your body, and they release and give you instant visceral feelings before your brain can process a new thought. Hang with me here for 1 second. It takes your brain 1/3 of a second to process a thought. The feelings that you get, though, because over time your body has been trained to feel a certain way, and like a drug addict, it will crave those same feelings. So even though you're trying to change your thought patterns, your body will want to keep you stuck. Okay, let me give you an example. Let's just say, for example, you had a coworker, you have a family member, you have a neighbor that rubs you the wrong way, and they're a little annoying and they trigger you all the time. What happens when that person calls you, texts you, you haven't even picked up the phone, and you see their name pop up on your phone? Explain that process. Are you like, oh, I wonder why Joe's calling? Maybe he's going to bring me a present, instead of complain about my leaves or my tree line or having stuff in my driveway or whatever. You don't go there because immediately the visceral feeling that the chemicals and hormones in your body have already given you, like, oh gosh, they've already kicked off the emotions, right? And so your emotions then trigger the same very thoughts, and we get stuck in this rut, and it goes around and around and around, and we never break it. Okay, so yes, we are to take our thoughts captive, but we need to do this over time because we have to literally retrain our bodies to produce different chemicals and hormones. And over time, they will rewrite the neurons in our brain. It's called neuroplasticity, but it's hard, but it's take time, but it's very possible. It starts with how we think. The second most important part is how we feel. Guys, for those of you who follow me, I talk about the morning gratitude walk all the time. I do Instagram and Facebook stories all the time, my morning gratitude walks. Let me briefly tell you what this is all about. 2 years ago, I came to a realization that my thinking was in the toilet. It was. That's why I had caps all over my life. I could not break out of them. I could not break free. I realized my thoughts were keeping me trapped. I needed to change them. My thoughts were always the worst in the morning. From 3 a.m. to 7 a.m., my thoughts were in the toilet. It set the tone for the whole day. It affected the atmosphere in my home. It affected my marriage. So even in my naivety, I was like, what is like the opposite of self-pity, anger, and bitterness, which was where my baseline emotions sat. I don't know about you, but that's where I sat. Well, the opposite is gratitude. Okay, so I need to have gratitude. When should I have gratitude, Jared? Well, in the morning. Why? Because that's when I'm the worst. That's when I'm at my worst mentally. All right, so I started going for a morning gratitude walk. I went for my very first morning gratitude walk 2 years ago, right down the road down here. And I literally went for a 12-minute walk around our section, and I started audibly being gracious for the things in my life. And let me tell you something. You know what happened after that first gratitude walk? Nothing. It was awkward and weird. I got up the next day. I did it again. Guess what? It was awkward. It was weird. I did it the third day, awkward and weird. By the time I hit day 90, it started to becoming slightly less awkward and weird. But within a year, do you know what happened? It started changing how I think. It started changing my emotions. It started changing the atmosphere in my home. It started changing my marriage. It started changing the connection I had with my children. And here I am now 2 days later, probably 700 morning gratitude walks later. I need it. My body craves it. 2 years ago, it fought it. But my body and my mind have been rewired, so now it craves the thing that I thought was weird. This morning, I went for a morning gratitude walk. I step outside, my arms go up. And I start thanking God for all the things in my life, even whether I feel it or not. It doesn't matter. I will give thanks. Why? Because I know I need it, and it sets the tone for the day. It keeps my feelings and my thoughts in alignment to the divine. You see the power in this? What disciplines do you need to start incorporating that will change your emotions? In my book, I say the goal of the goal isn't the goal. You can make goals. Goals are great. I teach goals. But just to go make a goal that I'm going to go to the gym for 5 days, this week and every week thereafter is great, but big deal. You know why that discipline is important? Because when you start going to the gym, you start changing your body, you start changing the chemicals in it, you start changing how you think about yourself, you start changing your self-perception, and then you become a new creation. That's the idea. Then you start becoming more aligned to the divine, and you start shedding off the old skins, and you start becoming new and aligned. That's the beauty of the gym, and that's just one example. So don't just like make a goal to go read a book every month. Big deal. Why are we doing it? Because we're trying to biohack where we have limiting beliefs that are keeping us capped because our beliefs are always tied to our results. That's the point. The goal of the goal isn't the goal. You don't get a trophy in the mail if you accomplish a goal. I don't. I'm trying to biohack my own physiology and my own engineering to release what's already there inside to come out. That's the beauty. Paul says, heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. Guys, this is so powerful. If you are open to receive what I am saying, it will set you free. Guys, it will set you free. This isn't some like hippy dippy spiritual foo-foo garbage stuff. This is freedom. This is freedom. State of being, how we think, how we act, how we think, how we feel, and lastly, act. Guys, you need to take action. I'm going to give you 4 ways to take action. I talk about them in my book, and I'm pointing over here because my book is up on my shelf. I forgot to grab one, so I'm pretending that you can see them. How you act. 4 different ways to take action. Number 1 is bold action. Write it down, circle it. Some of you need to start taking bold action. There's a thing out there called the 80-20 rule. Give me some heck yeahs if you know what the 80-20 rule is. The 80-20 rule applies to a whole bunch of stuff. But when it comes to the results in our life, statistically speaking, 80% of the results that you're getting that you want are coming from 20% of your actions. That means 80% of what you're doing, 80% of what you're doing isn't producing the life that you want. Get rid of it. Decide you're going to sever it. Decide that you're going to make a change. Take bold action. I'm all about like the incremental steps over time. Heck yeah, for sure. Let's do those. But some of you, including me in some area, we need to make some massive changes. You want a new life? You want to be unrecognizable? For some of you, you're going to have to like flip the tables over and change 80% of what you're doing. You might change 5% and get some different results, but you'll be recognizable. I want to be unrecognizable. That's how big I want to play. For me to do that, for you to do that, it will take bold action. Second type of action, inspired. Write it down. First, there's bold, then there's inspired action. You need to be connected to your true, most optimal self, aligned with your creator. Action is good, but when you're just kind of all over the place and disaligned, it actually takes you farther away. I'm not suggesting God can't get you in and adjust and start to like move you in closer. He certainly can and does all the time, but something powerful happens when you start taking massive action and it is inspired, purpose-driven, and aligned to how you were specifically created. Third type of action, laser-focused. Laser-focused. Write it down, circle it. I want you taking laser-focused action. Guys, you can do anything, but you can't do everything. Let me say that again. You can do anything, but you can't do everything. Some of you need to get laser focused. Like, I love action, don't get me wrong, but you can't be like spraying shotgun blasts into the trees at night, just trying everything. Get laser focused, dialed in, laser beam, boom, boom, boom. How do you know what action to take? Get dialed in with your mind and your emotions. He will give you the downloads. He will show you. Get connected and the clarity will come. The last type of action, messy action. Bold, inspired, laser-focused, messy. What do I mean by messy action? Get in the game. Get in the arena. Start playing the game. I'm a Christian, and I'm gonna pick on some of my Christian friends. But I hear a lot of my Christian friends are like, I'm just kind of waiting on the Lord. I'm praying about that, seeking counsel, which is good. I recommend doing that. I'm like, you've been praying about this for 15, 20, 40, 50 years. At some point, move. Get off the sidelines. Take the ball to the midcourt line. You are in a co-creating relationship with your creator. It's not all you, but it's not all him. Get in the game. We want to wait till we got steps 1 through 20 before we take step 1. It never happens, people. There's something right now you have been waiting to pursue for years. I guarantee you there's somebody on this call right now. You've had this desire. It's been welling inside of you for years. You've never taken step 1. This is your prescription and this is your, what's the word I'm looking for? This is your excuse. This is your affirmation. This is your confirmation to make the step, make the phone call, do the research, take a step of action. Then step 2 will be given to you. Then step 3 will be given to you. Messy action, get in the game. When you take action, somebody make note of this. When you take action, you are signaling to the divine that you are ready. Something so powerful happens when you start taking action, and it signals to the divine that you are ready. There's a saying out there that goes like this. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. For years, I was looking for the teacher. I was looking for the thing that was going to take the caps off my life and bring me into the promised land. And I tried a lot of stuff. I tried a lot of things, guys. I've been all over the place. This is my dad. He's on LinkedIn. He says, heck yeah. I got a lot of heck yeahs in the comments. By the way, find some heck yeah friends. That's where I get this saying. Find some heck yeah friends. Find some friends that say heck yeah to your hopes and your dreams. By the way, if you need one, I'm one of them. Okay. But it was when I did the 3 things I just talked about, when I started changing how I think, when I started changing how I felt, when I started changing how I acted, and those things were in alignment to whom I was created to be, then all of a sudden, there was a shift. Because now I had the divine on my side. Because now it signaled to the divine that I was ready. And the teachers came out of nowhere. The teachers came out of nowhere. Excuse me. The teachers were always there. It's not like they just showed up. The books, the people, the knowledge, the information I needed was always there, but I wasn't ready. The veil hadn't been torn off my eyes before I could see it. The truth hadn't set in, right? I love this comment really quick. Got to have friends that think bigger than us, pull us along. Heck yeah, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. You got to have people in your corner that are where you want to go. And maybe have some people out there that are where you've been. And you're pulling them up and you're getting elevated and you're elevating other people. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So how do we start implementing this? What do we do? I hope that you've gotten some tools out of this. I hope that you've gotten some value out of this. I hope you know what you need to do. Again, you need to change your state of being. The Bible talks about putting new wine into old wineskins. It says you would never do that. So many people want a new life. They want to be unrecognizable. They want to accomplish big things. But they want to put new wine into old wineskins, and you can't do that. The wineskin needs to change. You need to change. Your state of being needs to change. Guys, this is the cheat code. Guys, you want to start a business, you want to blow up your business, you want to change your marriage, you want to do big things, you want to change your body, all of the things. Change the wineskin. What is the wineskin? The state of being. It's how you think, how you act, and how you feel. Guys, really quickly, I'm running out of time here. Last year, if you follow me on my journey, my physical body changed. Literally before my eyes, my body was changing on the daily. It was fall of 2023. I was talking about it on the daily. People are like, what are you eating? What are you lifting? Are you taking supplements? Are you taking steroids? Why are you do fast? And I was getting asked all these tactical questions, and I responded every single time. The only thing I'm changing right now is how I think. Some of you guys will not believe this. My body physically transformed as my mind started to change, and my actions and my emotions. And the true essence of who I am literally started to come out in the physical. It started becoming materialized. Guys, what you are looking for on this call, you already have it. If I could reach through my camera and shake you and tell you and hug you and tell you, you already have everything you need. I don't have the keys. You have them. God has given them to you at conception. You have everything you need. Think of it like a pearl that's stuck in the mud. The pearl's there. It's been there the whole time. All you need is to wash the pearl and let your true, authentic self come out. And as that true, authentic self comes out, you will start to be connected to the vine. Your life will become supernatural. It will be bold, exciting, impactful. You will look forward to every single day. You will find purpose, and the caps will come off your life. I am walking proof of this in real time. So what do you got to do? You got to say yes. Say yes. For 43 years, I said I was going to win by saying no and playing defense. When I made that decision on that little gravel road right down there, when I made that choice, I started saying yes. I started getting heck yeah friends in my corner. I started creating structures. I started reading books. I started getting people in my corner to help implement everything that I talked about, how I think, how I act, and how I feel, so it could take me to the next level. And so that's what you got to do. Guys, I'm going to spend the next 10 minutes, and I'm going to give you an opportunity here now to where you can start to implement this in your life. I hope that you found a ton of value out of this. I hope you've been blessed by this. If you've got to run, if you got what you needed, the price of admission has been paid. You are free to log off. But I want to show you something that to me is the opportunity that many of you on this call are looking for. It is now time to make a choice. And by the way, I want to remind you, you've always had choice. It's the first part of my book. You have a choice. You have a choice to get off this call, do the same thing you've always done, hit play, repeat, maybe try to implement a little bit, or you need to start making some choices that are going to change your state of being. This year truly, truly can be different. Guys, I want to introduce this to you, and I'm so excited for this. I'm so excited for this. The reason why I'm so excited for this is because of the timing. Guys, with the book and I didn't plan this, by the way. The book came out a week ago, 2 weeks ago now. I can't even remember. A week and a half ago. The response on the book has been nothing short of overwhelming and supernatural. I am so thankful for people that have read the book, that have loved the book, have commented on the book, left reviews on the book. I get those messages daily. Now it's time to take that to the next level. I am introducing a course called Accelerator. The whole point of this course is to become, guess what? Unrecognizable in 2025. This is a 6-week course where we are going to put our foot on the gas. We are going to play offense, and we are going to hit 2025 screaming, full throttle. And this course is going to take you all the way into 2025. Guys, I want to show you this. I want to direct you to my website, jaredsebesta.com. Okay, just go to jaredsebesta.com. It's just my name.com. I want to direct you there. Here's what it looks like. On there, it's going to talk about the book. If you scroll down a little bit, you're going to get about halfway through the page. You're going to get to this part right here where it's going to talk about Accelerator. Okay. Now, you can scroll all the way through this and you can kind of take a peek as to what all it entails. But I just want to show you this. I want you to go to my website right now, jaredsylvester.com, and right at the top, you're going to see Accelerator. Go ahead and click on that. By the way, when you click on this, really, all the URL is just this. It's just jaredsylvester.com/accelerator. But this is going to give you the details. This is a 6-week course, but there are 2 extra tiers on top of that. And I want to walk you through this kind of piece by piece here so you understand. This is a 6-week blueprint for your transformation. Stop hitting replay on another year, okay? Most people aren't going to do anything. At best, most people will set New Year's resolutions and wait for someday to come around. That does not work. I did it for 43 years. It does not work, okay? But there are 3 tiers to Accelerator, okay? And by the way, before I forget, I have got early bird pricing on every single one of these tiers, and they expire a week from tomorrow, Monday, December the 9th, okay? The very first tier is what I call foundation, okay? Now I'm just going to walk you through this really, really quick. Foundation is the 6-week course. I know I'm scrolling through this, but just bear with me for a second. This is the 6-week transformation. We are going to do 6 Zoom calls. We are going to do 6 Zoom calls every Thursday starting December the 12th. Okay, so this starts here in 2 weeks. In fact, a week from Thursday, so less than 2 weeks. And I know it's small for those of you watching on your phones, but I'll just explain this to you. So we are going to start on Thursday, December the 12th at 7 p.m. via Zoom and go to the next 6 weeks. I take that back, 7, because we're going to take a break over Christmas. So December the 12th, December the 19th, then we're going to pick it back up on January the 2nd, 9th, 16th, and 23rd. Okay. This is like, and some of you, by the way, some of you have been through some of my courses. You've seen me do my courses earlier this year. This is like the boot camps and the masterminds on steroids. Okay. Like this is like next level. Why is it next level? Because I'm next level. I'm not the same person I was earlier this year when I was doing the 30-day challenges. I have learned more. My consciousness level has increased. My intensity has increased. I'm more passionate than ever. And guys, if you're ready to rock and roll, like let's do this. This is for people who are serious about change and running into 2025 on all cylinders. Okay, let's talk about pricing really quick. Again, I'm scrolling through this. By the way, I have this price right now at $997. I know you can't see this, but I've got an early bird special at $797. Okay, and again, that runs through Monday, December the 9th. Okay, so that's like the full-blown 6-week program, group coaching. Like if you miss the calls, no big deal. You're going to get the group calls, the replays, the whole bit. Okay, off and running. That will take you all the way into the first part of Q1 of next year. What is the next level up? The next level up is what I call breakthrough. Let me talk about breakthrough for a second. Breakthrough is everything that you're going to get in foundation, but we are going to incorporate the power of pods. You can see that on your screen. So this is everything that you would get in foundation, but we are going to do an extra call per week in what I would call a pod. What is a pod? 3 to 6 people, perhaps kind of in the same boat, perhaps trying to get aligned the same way, perhaps with the same goals. I will create those pods, and we are going to have a call on top of the Thursday night call. When to be determined. So every single week, you're going to get the Thursday calls with the big group, and then you're going to get your pod calls. Guys, if you've ever been a part of a small group, this is incredible. Science says that you get results 4 times faster with small group accountability. Okay. By the way, I'm part of small group coaching programs. They are incredibly powerful. You get direct access to the coach and direct implementation. You're also getting the weekly calls on top of that. Okay. Let's talk about pricing. The price is $19.97, but I'm running an early bird special at $15.97. That ends a week from Monday. By the way, I am only taking 12 people. I'm shutting this one down, this tier down at 12 people. That is it. I want to have 2, maybe 3 or 4 pods at most at most. So if you make it into the pod, if you sign up for the pod, you are going to get a lot of my time, effort, and energy. Okay. Let's move on. Sorry, I'm going faster. The final tier is what I call quantum. Quantum is the highest level of coaching you will get. Guys, I get asked all the time, do you do one-on-one coaching? Are you doing one-on-one coaching? Are you doing one-on-one coaching, Jared? And I have a little bit, and I've been saving it. Okay. And that's a little secret I haven't told a lot of you. I've been saving it because I've been waiting for Accelerator to come out, because I wanted to come guns a-blazing with you people. Quantum is everything in foundation. The 6 calls every Thursday starting December 12th through January 23rd. You don't get the pod, but you are going to get me one-on-one every single week, 45 minutes included on top of the Thursday calls. This is like elite level coaching. This is like deep diving with me. You will have direct access with me. I am helping you build and structure your future with me. We're going to develop the vision and make sure it gets implemented with me. And by the way, this will continue 30 days after the program. So you get me every single week through the end of February, on top of the 6 weeks of foundation. I hope that makes sense. I hope that I've explained that correctly. What is the price of quantum? Again, I know that it is hard to see, but it is priced at $49.97, early bird special at $39.97. So $1,000 off. Guys, I'm taking 3 people. 3 people. That is it. That is all I'm taking for quantum. Those are your 3 levels: foundation, breakthrough, and quantum. I hope that you consider those. If anything that I have been saying here today is resonating and you want to go to the next level, I got to tell you, I am so dialed in right now. Like I'm not, this is not a brag. This is just like, dude, I'm laser focused in, man. And if you don't believe me, follow me on social media. Read what I say. Read the things I talk about. Get a gist for where my head and my heart is. And if you want that in your life, then get signed up for one of these tiers. Foundation, unlimited seats. Breakthrough, pods, 12. That's it. The quantum, the one-on-one, boom, I'm taking 3 people. Guys, as you mull that over here and we kind of land this plane in the next 2 minutes, I'm not suggesting that this is chump change. This is a massive investment. For you, it might be a little. For you, it might be a ton. I will tell you that I spend, this is just me talking. Again, I'm not bragging about this. I spend 4 figures plus a month on things that I just suggested to you. Coaching calls, group coaching, one-on-one mentorship. I spend 4 figures plus a month. I'm not suggesting that this is chump change. If you have questions about this, if you want to learn more, shoot me an email, jared@jaredsebesta.com. I would gladly field and answer any of your questions. And if you want to hop on a call, if you'd rather just call me, like hop onto my calendar. I'm giving you direct access to my calendar. Okay. Take a look there. Take a snapshot of it. Go to calendly.com/JaredSebesta/50-minute connection call. I have blocked off time this week. Tonight's Sunday night. I've blocked off big chunks of time this week to field 15-minute calls. If you have a question, if you want to know if this is right for you, if you want to know if you want to find out if I can truly help you or not, if you want to talk about your specific situation and see if one of these tiers is good for you. And by the way, if it's not, I will gladly tell you that. Gladly. I only want the right people in any of these tiers. This is not me doing anything I can to get this thing filled. I want the right people who are in alignment with me, what they're resonating with what I have to say. I crush with those people. If that's not you, we can find that out on a 15-minute call. Great. But if it is you, I'm going to tell you. Okay. If you want to hop on a call, hop on a call. Pick any time during the course of the next week. But just remember, this starts on December the 12th, 1 week from Thursday. Guys, this is the offer here tonight. Become unrecognizable in 2025. It's a 6-week course. 6-week course, you've got 3 options: foundation, breakthrough, and quantum. Early bird pricing goes until a week from Monday on December the 9th. Guys, I'm going to check the chats here. We're winding this down. Michelle says, yes, wants a phone call. Go ahead. Go to my calendar. Michelle, go sign up. By the way, don't leave yet. I know we're at the hour. If you have a business with a whole fleet of employees and you want some of your employees to go through this, reach out to me. Send me an email, sign up for a 15-minute call. I would be more than happy to talk about that, see how many employees you want to go through. I would maybe even discuss giving you a special promo code to give you an additional discount on top of the early bird. Not because I'm trying to make sure that this thing gets filled. I want the right people going through this. So if you are a business owner and you have multiple classes, right? If you have multiple employees, 3 to 10 to 20 to 50 to whatever, and you want to put them all through it or part of them, let me know. I would gladly work out a deal for you on that. Okay. Does that make sense? Again, early bird pricing goes through a week from Monday through Monday, December the 9th. And then we start on Thursday the 12th. Derek says, thanks for everything. Heck yeah. I got tons of heck yeahs in the chats. Boom, boom, boom. Heck yeah. Get some heck yeah, friends. Boom. Somebody said, I want to quit my 3rd job. Yes. People get stuck. Stay stupid. Got lots of stay stupids. That's going to be I'm going to get personalized plates sometime. It's going to say stay stupid. That or heck yeah. Which one? Do I do heck yeah or stay stupid? They're both good. Guys, we're at 9:01. I've taken you 1 minute longer than I wanted to. God bless you guys. Thank you so much for hanging on the call here with me today. I hope you found value. If you want to log on to Anything Accelerator, please do it. If you got questions, email me. Want to hop on a call? Let's get a 15-minute call booked, and we will chat this week. All right. One more check in the chats. Nothing new. I love you guys. Thanks for tuning in here today. God bless you. We'll talk soon.